Hey there, it's Miriam here in New York City. Check it out. Beautiful Hudson River. And I'm here with Don McGuire of Qualcomm. What is your role at Qualcomm, Don?
Hi there, Miriam fans. I am Don McGuire. I'm the Vice President of Product Marketing at Qualcomm, and happy to be here with you.
Oh, well, thanks so much. So we're at a new event for Qualcomm.
Right.
It's the first ever Snapdragon Tech Summit. And you guys are all wondering, what would possibly be being talked about at the Snapdragon Summit? Well, guess what? Chips. And so we had a bunch of new announcements this morning that were pretty significant. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. We actually had 3 announcements that hit the wire today. So are all separate but kind of related. Our first, obviously, announcement was around our Snapdragon 835 next generation processor, and we announced that we are partnering with Samsung to manufacture our first 10 nanometer FinFET processor. And the significance of that is we have over about a 10-year relationship with Samsung, and we chose them because it allows us to keep our leadership edge in mobile technology. And their 10 nanometer process node also allows us to increase our power efficiency, performance, and add a bunch of new features that we know our customers and consumers will love. That's
awesome. So this is the world's first 10 nanometer processor chip, which is a pretty huge achievement. It's going to give us some huge gains in power management, right, in terms of battery life and heat management. So that's a pretty huge, impressive gain. And I mean, Samsung's been a long-time partner of Qualcomm, so it kind of makes sense. But at the same time, it just shows this really renewed partnership that you've had for a long time, and how it's just been beneficial to everyone involved. So
yeah, it was great that they could come and be on stage with Keith Cresson and again talk about the partnership. And it's tiny. It's super small.
That's the other thing. The other advantage is get a smaller die size,
right?
Smaller packaging, so economies of scale in terms of how much you can stuff in a phone. People want them to be slimmer and lighter all the time. So,
right.
Yeah, it's great.
More processors on a wafer. Plus, our OEMs can make thinner designs. Yeah. They can add more battery power if they want to. So it's great.
Totally. And you know what got me excited was the next announcement, the Quick Charge 4 announcement.
Yeah, the Quick Charge 4.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. So the Quick Charge 4 is our next generation Quick Charge technology that we announced yesterday, or actually this morning. It builds off of our Quick Charge 3, and it actually has a 20% improvement over our Quick Charge 3. The significance about Quick Charge 4 as well is we've added all these layers of power management and thermal management into the Quick Charge 4 technology, and a completely new advanced safety feature, kind of multi-layer approach, so that your phone's protected, the charger's protected, the cables are protected from overcharging, from overheating, from any of those other problems that you think might arise. And so we have a 5 for 5 saying that we've been using here at the Tech Summit, which is 5 minutes of Quick Charge 4. It gives you 5 hours of extra battery life on your device.
And that's an amazing thing. If you think about it, if you're halfway through your day, you plug it in for 5 minutes and you got most of the rest of your day.
Exactly.
And you plug it in again for 5 minutes a little later and you get the rest of your day.
Exactly.
And 5 minutes is pretty easy to find. So that's a pretty significant improvement. There's been a whole bunch of debates on my Twitter about this today, about people lamenting the lack of removable batteries on devices. But I think it actually makes more sense to have a combination of a big battery and quick charge, and some other technologies like power efficient management, like a lot of the stuff that we've seen on the 820 platform, 821.
Exactly.
So and of course I'm sure that 835, and I can't wait to find out more, to be honest. But we'll even pump that up even whole other dimensions.
Right. The going to 10 nanometer really will help boost power efficiency exponentially, as well as the performance. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, I think the thing about the advantage of unibody designs is that you can stuff more battery. You don't have to worry about mechanical failure of connectors, and you make phones that are thinner and stiffer, right? And I think a lot of people don't see that. They kind of take these 6 and 7 millimeter phones for granted, and then they want removable batteries. It just doesn't work like that. Right. You can have one but not the other, right?
That's
and my other thing about removable batteries is I get the point. Like, it's instantly your full charge, but you have to shut down the entire phone. You lose all your contacts, your clipboard, the apps you're running, your cache, everything just blown to bits. So yeah.
And people, tend to continuously use right? Their phone, even at the end of the day, they plug it in to charge it, but they don't turn it off.
Right.
You rarely do power down your phone
Exactly.
these days, unless you're doing something in an airport, getting on an airplane or whatever. But continuous use and then continuous charging and then back to continuous use is sort of the behavior.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Absolutely. So the third announcement is also really significant, and I want you to touch on that as well.
Yeah, our bug bounty program that we announced.
Bounties.
Bounties. We've been working with the scientific community on vulnerability threats for a long time, and the partnership with them has been really, really great. So we've decided to add a bug bounty program, which basically is an incentive program for those members of the research community to continue to search for and unearth any vulnerabilities across our technologies and report them to us directly, so that we can work on, we can work to fix them, and they can win up to $15,000 in incentive money for the vulnerabilities that they identify and that we validate. So it's a nice incentive program. It continues the dialogue with the scientific and research community that we've kind of come to depend on. So we think it's an industry first. We're the first sort of silicon, semiconductor company to kind of launch a program like this. So we're pretty pleased with it.
No, I think it's a fantastic idea, and I mean, security is becoming more and more significant,
right.
and so I'm glad to see it. But to be frank, as so I write about consumer tech and hardware mostly. I'm very excited about what the 835 is going to bring, and the Quick Charge 4. Even though when you announced it, I think I rolled my eyes a bit because I just got everything more or less to Quick Charge 3 in my house and in my car, and now I'm going to need to upgrade again. But I think the other thing you didn't touch on that I think is really significant is that you guys have you're working closely with Google and others for the USB-C spec and really being compliant and worrying about safety and making sure that really, right now it's a bit the Wild West. I mean, everybody's got their own fast charge standards, and it's just a bit of a mess. And I think that you're going to be able to consolidate that for us, which I'm really appreciating.
Well, we're the #1 fast charge technology deployed, and we're deployed across multitude of devices too. So it's not just power adapters for your phone necessarily, but Quick Charge has been adopted by a vast amount of the ecosystem.
Right.
So that leadership position allows us to sort of kind of force that standardization.
Yeah.
I think, which to your point, would bring the Wild West to more of a stable environment, and we think that's a good thing, obviously.
I mean, I think everybody's going to benefit in the end because right now, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. You almost need a custom adapter for each high-end phone you have because everybody is wanting to use their proprietary profile on top of USB-C or even sometimes on top of Quick Charge 3, which is kind of insane.
Yeah, it is insane.
So
we know the margins and accessories are big, but it is kind of insane.
It is kind of insane. So one thing I want to talk to you about was one of the presentations that really hit a high note for me yesterday was the presentation on the future of mobile AR.
Oh, sure.
And I think I like to call it mixed reality more than augmented reality. I think it makes more sense. But it's going to become a really big deal. And I really feel that you guys are well placed, and I'm sure that when we find out more about the 835, that we're going to start seeing more of that. I think AR is really important. Like you said when we talked earlier, that the phone has become such a central part of people's lives, right?
Right.
And I think we're going to look 10 years from now, we're going to look back and say the same thing. That the phone was so significant, but at that point in time, I think AR glasses or some sort of AR technology or MR technology, mixed reality, will I think be the thing, right? And to drive that, it's a whole new dimension. You need 5G networks, you need power management that's even beyond what we can fathom today. You need all kinds of machine learning performance. You need audio. You need image processing, DSP. And so, can you tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing to make that happen? Because you're going to be at the forefront of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we believe obviously, VR or AR or MR, whatever R you want to use, if terminology goes, it's meant to be mobile, right? It is meant to be a mobile experience. You want to move around. You want to immerse yourself into your environment or into a environment, and not stand still or not be stagnated or not be actually tethered. So, so from that perspective, we've got a point of view that we've developed for AR / the VR MR kind of mix is really the next compute platform.
Right.
And we believe the mobile ecosystem is poised to actually bring that to the masses. So your point about DSP and GPU and 5G, low latency bandwidth, right? I mean, nobody wants to engage in an experience and then have it show up 5 seconds later after they've already kind of gone there, right? So all those things are going to be super important to have a really, really immersive experience. And so I think when we talked about the future and AR's kind of place in the whole reality landscape, we believe that we've got a kind of a great sort of foundation to work from with A35, and then into the future when we bring the X50 to market, our first 5G modem, and we kind of put all the puzzle pieces together, we think it's going to be a great experience for everybody. Right?
Awesome. Yeah, and if you guys are watching this video and you're wondering, I did a Periscope yesterday of most of that AR presentation. I will be posting it on YouTube as well, so stay tuned. But listen, Don, we should wrap this up. I wanted to thank you for speaking with me quite a bit today.
It's been great.
And again, I appreciate it. And thanks for having me at the summit. And let's hope to have another great one next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
first
just
annual,
the first annual, so it's going to be the
second.
Exactly.
Beautiful weather.
And yeah, I'll let you guys out on a beautiful shot of the Hudson River here. Thanks again, Don, and cheers, everybody.
Thanks a lot, Mir.